Imagine when we can actually start getting actual sex bots and people can go full Westworld on, and like when people just have the unchecked power of AI where I can code an app to really fry my brain and really get me to a certain different place. So I do ask that question again. Should we be having that ethical question of where is the line between this is gonna ruin my brain versus just let the technology, bro, and they'll be fine. Like
if they are not sentient, I think people should be able to do whatever they want. If they are sentient, then they should be treated like a human and have the same rights. The place that I want to go with this is as a PSA. If you need to understand that you become what you repeat. And so if you repeat violent acts on something that mimics human behavior, that is doing its best to elicit in your brain that, oh, this is a human, which is exactly why a sex bot will work, because it's triggering all of that neurochemistry, hardwiring and that. And if you are being violent and horrible to it and you're doing that over and over, and remember, I'm saying it's not sentient. So you're doing an act of masturbation, but you are, as an act of masturbation, you're pushing the blurring of the lines in your own mind of, is this real? Is this not real? There will be consequences to that.
Define sentient before you continue. What does it mean by sentient?
Yeah, so sentient actually has a very simple definition, and I think that this is non-controversial. This is people's definition of sentient, that it feels like something to be that thing. So if a robot has a self-reflexive loop where this feels like something, and so I'm suffering because I'm being demeaned or whatever, then it's sentient and hard pass. If it doesn't feel like anything, like to it, answering your question about Alexander Hamilton feels exactly the same as you choking it out during sex. Like if that's the case, like there's nothing, there is no feeling. It's just, this is just inputs, outputs, with no one is better than the other, one feels like something. There's just nothing.
I know that there are people who are fundamentally incapable of creating relationships and who don't have the social cues, and whether it's because of a neurological difference or whether it's just bad social skills or whether they might not be the most physically appealing. Some people would have a more fulfilling life if they can have a partner that supports them, that creates them, even if they are not organic, I guess I'll call it, or like biologically created. You said what?
You want to get rid of loneliness.
Yeah.
Imagine this very real scenario. You are 14 years old and you become horribly burned and you lose your face. Your humanity stops on that day. Not your humanity, but the way people treat you will forever be different. People will look at you more or less. They either will try not to look at you, or there's an algorithm running in their brain that's just like, this is other, this is bad, I'm uncomfortable. And so the odds of you ever having a normal sex life are zero. The odds of you feeling all the love and the connection, all the things that I'm talking about, are effectively zero. And so now imagine that AI gets so good, even though it is not sentient and it is nothing like to be that person, it can trigger in your mind somebody that will hold eye contact with me, somebody that loves me, somebody that cares about me, somebody that wants to be intimate. And they will be able to convince you that they want to be intimate. And they'll be able to break through your defenses when you are crying and trying to push them away and saying, no, you don't. Just like everybody, you find me ugly. The AI will have the infinite patience and the ability to work past your defenses. And now that person is able to experience those incredible, beautiful things. And so there are ups and downs to all of this stuff. And there will be countless people that will not be able to separate themselves from this. They won't recognize that they're building an addictive pattern. They won't recognize that they're doing horrible things to this thing and that it doesn't matter except in their own mind. Like they'll give themselves the out, but it's not sentient. It's not like anything to be that thing. And so what does it matter? And I'm just saying it does matter because it's doing something inside your own mind. So just be careful. I don't think that somebody should enter your bedroom and say this non-sentient being, which is effectively just a toy, you can't treat it that way any more than I would say, I would not want police coming in and saying you're using the vibrator wrong. It's like, do your thing. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. It's a piece of electronics. So again, people must understand I'm assuming it's not sentient, but then you have to be very careful about the changes it provokes in your own mind. Parents have to take responsibility for their kids until they're 18. Like there's no way around that. So I think trying to mandate everything from the top down is proven over and over and over and over and over. That is a terrible fucking idea. AI will get better at it. And so I think people, many people will subjugate themselves. That's a bad word because I don't mean it to have negative valence. They will follow the AI's lead. And so they'll let the AI read data coming off of their devices. And so the AI will say things like, hey, listen, I think that the path you're going down now is going to have negative externalities for you. You should probably stop doing whatever, whether it's eating something bad, raping the AI sex bot. It's like, listen, this is not the game that you want to keep going down because you're not sleeping as well. You're displaying sociopathic tendencies at an increased rate, like blah, blah, blah. Some people will actually listen and other people won't. And there will be a mess. And that's just the way that it goes. Some people have a goal in mind and they steer towards that. And other people are just living life by the law of accident. This is why on my tombstone, I hope it reads, you're having a biological experience. Like if you really forced me to say, what's the one thing, you've only got one idea that you can put in people's minds, it would be that. You are having a biological experience. I'm perfectly happy to say that it's God that's giving you this biology, but you're having a biological experience. Mm-hmm. And if you don't understand that, if you remain blind to that, then you were far too easy to manipulate by yourself and by others. And so once you understand, ooh, I need to be careful with this because I can hardwire very negative human impulses. And I also have an operating belief that the line between good and evil runs through every human heart, which means we all have the capability to be good. We all have the capability to be evil. And which one of those do you want to become calorically more efficient? Evil impulses or good impulses? And I would say, going back to the whole thing, there are two wolves inside of you. Whichever one you feed grows stronger. We should be talking about the first episode of Black Mirror because that's where this collision of, of the most recent season, season 7. That is the one where I'm like, there's an interesting collision here about if you are charging money for saving somebody's life, at what point do you still regulate that? So that idea is where getting into where is the line between the quote unquote nanny state. Spoiler alert. I don't know. Have you guys watched it?
They're all saying spoilers. I haven't watched it. We'll turn this live stream off. No spoilers.
Okay. Yeah. No spoilers. Right. But what's the basis of the tech? Like what type of, is it mind control? Is it simulation? Like what type of atmosphere is it playing in?
Okay, I want to honor chat and not do any spoilers. Yeah, so no spoilers. The only thing I can say without any spoilers whatsoever is it asks a question of what is it moral to charge people for?
Like in the criminal?
Money. To charge money for.
Copy.
So like if you were to charge someone to use the bathroom or something.
Sure.
Okay. And that's what the episode revolves around, the first one.
The morality of what you can charge money for.
Okay.
And to not have any spoilers, I can say no more words.
Got it.
Everybody remember your homework for this weekend.
Black Mirror Season 7, Episode 1. We'll talk about it next week.
That's the one.
Everybody was supposed to do their homework. Black Mirror Episode 7, Season 1. I gave it to you guys on Thursday. You have 4 days to do it. We're going to jump into it because you said you wanted to talk about when do you bring somebody back, or you had a question that phrased it.
I don't remember how I phrased the question, but I found that episode particularly interesting because it begs the question of what are the moral implications of a company that can't get employees to work for free, which I would like to remind everybody is the eternal problem. The second that people will work for free, then you can get everything you want for free, which is why I'm saying if AI actually does the AI thing, eventually all of this stuff will be free. But in the meantime, we have the moral quandary of everybody refuses to work for free, and therefore solutions like that have to be paid for. And so now you get into this, which I thought was handled brilliantly in that episode of, okay, your wife is brain dead. She's donezo. Time to say goodbye. Or we can upgrade her brain, but you have to pay a subscription fee.
It's crazy.
It's
And
crazy.
do you do it?
It's crazy.
When they drove past the city lines and she like went offline.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you went outside our comfort zone. I was like, yo, that's really a company though. That's
But also how they kept just like nonchalantly like upping the price and
Yeah.
the levels and stuff too
Yeah.
was crazy.
Now,
That-
Because
that's
Netflix did that to
I'm about to
me.
say that's Netflix. That's
Yeah.
exactly Netflix.
Black Mirror
this is all
on
gonna happen.
Netflix.
This is so
I'm looking
crazy.
at you. That's crazy.
This is tough, man. I'll be honest. They do a phenomenal job of painting a very horrific idea, but the part that I couldn't get beyond is she would literally rather be dead. That struck me as
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like what, in fact, boys and girls, chat, what percentage of time where you're spewing ads would you say, okay, if it crosses this percent, I would just rather be dead?
That sounds like a poll.
It does sound like a poll. Well, what's the poll?
That's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, what's the-
You'd have to put like tranches.
Be ad enabled or brain dead.
Be ad
with
enabled.
no like requirement on
Be
the
ad enabled or
Be
brain
ad
dead?
enabled or brain dead. That's what's crazy about it is that there's no philosophical like, okay, this person deserves life. There's no standard of living baseline. She turned into a drug
What
addict.
do you mean there's no this person deserves life? Okay, so this is the argument of where you and I are colliding is if this is free, meaning there's no cost to produce it, then yes, of course everybody should get it. But when it isn't free, you're saying that somebody needs to work for free because it has to be paid for. This is where I really think people do not think through how the economy works. Like all of us have to go do a thing in order for people to have a thing. And if you don't get to tell me that I'm not, you can't force me to do the thing, well, then you have to incentivize me to do the thing. And the way that we incentivize people to do anything is with money. And so then it's like, what's happening right now? Like at some point, you're just saying that we're going to take the labor of other people and apply it to this thing.
This is a fear of mine specifically with AI and future tech is because we're going to do a lot of things that we're not capable of doing. We're going to save a lot of lives, but there is going to be a Rivermind Plus. There is going to be a Rivermind Lux. There is, and when I say that, I'm saying there is going to be the option of saving a life, but the asterisk is if you can afford it.
Yes.
And I think that's the part.
Let me say it another way.
Yeah.
There's going to be a Rivermind Plus until people are willing to work for free.
But not even people are willing to work for free. Because even with like
What do you
hospital
mean?
bills,
That is the point.
and I'm saying right now in our current society, hospitals are required to extend that life. It's not like you have to pay to play. And I worry about that trade-off happening sooner rather than like that being grandfathered in or a company like Vermont.
Can you zoom in on what your actual problem is?
I don't want people to have to pay for life-saving.
I get it, but
yeah.
people have to work for free then.
Or that's
So you're
what,
just saying work for free. Everybody work for free.
it's not people have to work for free. It's
Yes,
just,
it is. At what point is it not, unless you have AI, at what point is it not somebody working for free?
because okay, so what, how do you, I'm still gonna get charged. I guess that's the point. Like you can bill it, but just the fact that you could deny service. I don't want the service to be denied.
But bro, the service costs money. That's why it gets denied.
That's not true though, because with a hospital, it costs money, but it doesn't get denied.
The hospitals are like, fuck you. You're going to work for free. Dear taxpayer, we are going to aggregate your money and we are going to spread them over these services.
It's gonna
which,
be
by the way, look at our debt because we can't actually afford it. We do a whole bunch of things that we can't afford, not realizing there's a cliff. You eventually go off that cliff. And so what we say right now as Americans is fuck the kids, fuck their future, don't care. We're going to do things right now on debt in the extreme and the future can fuck off. Like they can sort themselves out. Literally, that's how we act. We're $36 trillion in debt. We care not about the future. We care only about the people right now today where we're like, yeah, you're going to get the thing that you want because that's how democracies work. People vote for more shit. And I'm just saying, like, there's no easy answer to this.
Shall we look at the poll results?
Oh, I forgot about the poll results.
Let's go.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I forgot about the poll.
You forgot about the poll results. Well, we've got, I'm going to end it, 225 votes. And we've got 60% who said they'd rather be brain dead. And 39% who'd rather be ad enabled. And then I also saw on Twitch we had two people who voted ad enabled.
I don't know what to do with that.
I don't know if I'll be ad enabled. That's hard for me.
Yo, what the fuck is happening?
That's hard for me.
Yeah.
I'm emotional right now. Like, that is really hard
That
for me
60
to
people
digest.
wanted to be humans and not shills for big pharma.
Whoa.
While they
Yeah, Tracy Ellis Ross really sold it, though. I tell you what.
this was me.
This is me. Oh
Years,
my
2 months
God.
ago.
And I was like, girl, yes.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I live in an alternate universe. That
so
is
you
crazy
yourself
to me.
would be ad enabled.
Do you know how absurd that question sounds to me? Let me walk you through something. Jesus Christ. There didn't used to be phones.
Yeah.
Then there were neighborhood phones, phone lines that you shared with other people. Then you had rotary phones that were fucking slow and terrible, and they were attached to the wall. Then you had cordless phones. Then you had big brick cell phones. Then the cell phones got smaller. So by using this system, these things get better. So when I look at, would I rather be dead, which is a permanent state of affairs, no more you, end of that conscious experience. It's all gone. Mm-hmm. Or would I rather be ad enabled so I can stay alive long enough for this technology to get better? That is so fucking crazy to me that people would rather just be like, tap out because some percentage of my life would be lame. That is crazy.
We're also missing a key component of this episode.
I can't fathom what element
which was
of this
they
we're
couldn't
missing.
afford it. They couldn't afford to continue the subscription model.
Yes, they could. They couldn't afford to not have. Hold on.
He afforded it because he drank his own pee.
He took out all his
He
teeth.
took out his teeth.
And then they kept upgrading
And he
the
had
levels.
a glove. Shall we? Yeah, he was
I
on.
just need 30 minutes. Just give me 30 minutes of the.
He was on Dumb Dummies.
What tooth would you like me to pull to keep my wife alive? And that people are like, I don't give a fuck about that bitch. Smother your wife with a pillow rather than have her run ads or have to pull your own teeth or drink your piss. I'll fucking shovel piss down my throat while pulling my teeth out to keep my wife alive. What the fuck universe am I in right now where people are like, I don't want fucking ads that will clearly go down in frequency over time. The technology will clearly get better and cheaper over time because all of fucking human history tells me that that's true. Yo, what the actual fuck? This is so crazy to me that people value their own lives that little, let alone people outside. The poll was about them. So I want to be very clear. Maybe this would score better if it was like, what would I do to save my wife? I legitimately feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone episode right now.